In this Pokemon game, you become a gym leader tasked with crushing the dreams of new trainers, building a city, and taking care of the local biker gang. Except being a gym leader isn't all Solrocks and Rosealias. There is a dark underbelly lurking in this town, plotting quietly. But first, like any good Pokemon game, it begins with Professor Oak asking if you're a girl or... where's the boy? Oh, there it is. We're then sent to the void to choose what Pokemon type our gym will be. I decided to use one of the most scientific, the most accurate, and the most precise tools to discover what Pokemon type most reflects my soul. BuzzFeed. Which of your favorite Disney heroines? I mean, for me, it has to be Jasmine. I'm a normal! No, I'm basic! After resigning to our fate, we're offered 3 choices for starter: Eevee, Kangaskhan, and Munchlax. Since we're only allowed to use normal types, we'll never be able to evolve Eevee, and Kangaskhan is a pretty mediocre Pokemon. That leaves me with the Pokemon that most reflects my soul anyway: Munchlax, who we quickly named Pikmin after one of our subscribers. So subscribe and comment to be in the next video. We arrive on the outskirts of Umbral City and we're greeted by a strange old man. He introduces himself as the mayor and confidently tells me I can't be worse than the last gym leader. We'll see about that. In short, he explains the previous gym leader abandoned the town without any warning, and since then, a biker gang has moved in, before promptly rollerblading away and abandoning us in the woods. I ask a nearby citizen for directions, and she gives me 2 Pokeballs, which we quickly use to catch a Rattata, who we name Raddies. We make our way into town and discover it's overrun by clones of a balding old man, before stumbling across the mayor outside our gym. He offers to show us our new home, but quickly rollerblades away, leaving me behind again. I'm strongly suspecting this man might be a ghost. The ghost tells us to drop by the town hall after checking out our house, so we head inside, grab our gym signature TM, return, and head straight there. Coincidentally, there's a handsome ruffian threatening the townsfolk for rare candies and money, who says he is renaming the city to Garbage City, which I kinda like the ring of, honestly. He gets the wrong idea and takes my flirty stare badly, challenging me to a battle, but thankfully Pigmen and Raddies make short work of him. Inside, the ghost thanks me for help and explains a few rules. The ghost explains I'll only be allowed to use a team of 3 Pokemon until I rank up as a gym leader, and I can only rank up by raising my reputation through winning battles, doing favors around town, or asking the bold clones to shapeshift into buildings. Of course, if I lose battles, don't help out around town, or don't force those men to shapeshift, I'll lose reputation, and if I lose too much, I'll be fired. Out of a cannon. Into the sun. Look, the city's a bit weird, okay? He also says I should check my mailbox often to recruit new trainers to the gym, and that I should start by recruiting a gym guide. So I head home to do just that, where I'm met with 3 options again. A gym guy, who apparently helps my reputation grow steadily. An old gym guy, who is just a bored retiree looking to talk to people. Apparently this one will hurt my reputation. Don't know why. And finally, the gym girl, who will increase my reputation faster, but also bring in much more challenging trainers. Not wanting to be fired to the sun, I take on the gym girl and head to bed so we can be rested up for our first day as the gym leader. In the morning, we're met by the ghost, plus our new gym trainers Sandy and her younger brother Jimmy. They both tell me they're excited to do their best. Finally, some positive energy. The ghost rollerblades away so we can start our day, and as soon as he leaves, Sandy and her brother drop the smiles and begin berating me. They warn me I better not suck like the last crappy gym leader, and right as I'm about to cry, we're interrupted by my new gym guide. I use the pause to leave, saying I need to find a 3rd Pokemon, but just like high school, I'm actually gonna go cry in the toilet. If I can find it. Instead, I accidentally stumble across the local charity where I pretend I was there on purpose to donate my potions. But hey, at least I get some reputation out of it. I head down to the woods, defeat a few trainers, murder some bugs, and stumble across a wild Starly, who I catch and nickname Toasties. With our new team assembled, we open the gym for the day. Our first challenger is a literal child, who we crush so fast, I think I can see the moment they give up on their dreams. But before I have time to brag, a hiker enters, with a regional variant of Aron that knows Dragon Rage, a move that always inflicts 40 damage. I think I'm starting to see what type of game this is. Unsurprisingly, Aaron sweeps my team, because, you know, they all have less than 40 health, and I take my frustration out on the rest of the challenges today by defeating them all with ease. Not to be deterred, I wake up, donate to the needy, do some leveling, and meet a woman who asks for a flower from the Badlands, which apparently she can't get to because the Rough Riders are using it as their base. I'll get to that, I'm sure, but for now it's time to open the gym. We quickly defeat every challenger in our way, but despite getting the badge yesterday, the hiker is back for more. I begin tail whipping to lower his defense and even get a critical hit bite. But sadly, we lose Raddies. He'll be able to sweep us here, except Toasties learned Quick Attack earlier, and we just managed to take him out. Feeling satisfied, I head home and check the TV before bed, only to see a 10-year-old has beaten Team Rocket. Seems like we're all achieving greatness today. We start the next day by checking our mailbox. We find a heart scale and a letter from a painter who asks to join the gym. I quickly accept because more the merrier, but then we see another request from, I think, Alpharad asking to join the gym because I have female trainers. I quickly said no. The challenges in the gym are pretty easy today, except, you know, the level 15 Aaron with Dragon Rage who keeps bullying me every single day. But at least there's only one today, right? And with that, I head home to cry myself to sleep again. Before I can put shoes, socks, or really any clothes at all on today, I'm dragged to the town hall by the ghost, where a fangirl stands nearby awkwardly cheering me on. Thankfully, someone named Elizabeth interrupts and challenges me to a no-limits battle to prove I'm a fraud. Apparently, she is the best trainer in town, so I head to the wilderness to level up a bit. And I realize if she's the best trainer in town, I could probably take on other people as well. And I'm promptly murdered by a bug trainer with his level 21 Butterfree. Since there are no limits, I catch a Caterpie named Genghis and a Sandshrew named Super Sand. Then I head to the gym to crush this girl's spirits. We're rudely awakened by her Clefairy, who quite literally claps ratties, but I begin to channel the scariest normal-type gym leader in existence. Whitney. And by that I mean I spam roll out with Super Sand, which absolutely flattens her entire team. She quickly apologizes, and because I've been naked this entire time, I head home and go back to bed. I try to sleep in, but I'm woken up by the news that I ranked up as a gym leader, and told to make sure my entire team is over level 15 before opening the gym again. On my way out, I recruit another girl to the gym and turn down another letter from Alpharad. And of course, I drop off Genghis and Super Sand in the box, since they're not normal types. But not before stealing Super Sand's Quick Claw, which he was holding. Don't worry, I'm sure we will see them again. While training, Toasties evolves, and I stumble across something called the Cave of Knowledge. I'm clearly out of place because I get the first question wrong twice and probably would have failed 3 times, except it only has 3 options. Anyway, I remember I have my signature TM, Return, which works by doing more damage the more the Pokemon using it likes their trainer. So I teach Raddies and Pikmin that and open the gym for the day. The first challenger today is a boy with a level 17 Staravia, who thanks to some careful setup and a final quick attack from Raddies is no problem at all, and neither are the rest of the trainers. So I wrap the day in the break room, chatting to the gym trainers, and head home. We recruit a cool trainer in the morning and turn Alpharad down again, and then buy a fishing rod we will absolutely use. Before opening the gym again, ready for an ease. This time we're ready though. Pikmin opens with Return, but Aaron roars, forcing Raddies out to be one-hit. Pikmin comes back out, wears him down more, before the inevitable defeat by Dragon Rage. Our last hope is Toasties. I pop double team, hoping to make Aaron miss, and he does. Not once, but twice, letting us steal the win. The rest of the day goes smoothly, and we wrap up by taking our gym trainers out for a training session. The next day, we open the gym, destroy our arch nemesis, evolve Pikmin to Snorlax, and then, just to rub salt in the wound, crush him a second time right after, before training with our gym trainers and heading to bed. I really want to level up my reputation, so I build an eye-catching building for 10,000 bucks. Oh, well, the brown certainly catches your eye. I also spend some time exploring nearby caves and fighting trainers, where I discover all the trainers who I beat every day in the gym are actually out here training themselves to take me on again. But finding this out doesn't stop me being surprised when our arch nemesis returns once more, but this time with a level 28 Lairon, who absolutely wipes the floor with us. As I sulk in the break room, my gym guide tells me about a mysterious and impossibly strong trainer that is in the area, but apparently nobody's seen them in a while. I don't know what you're talking about. I literally just saw him and he destroyed me. So I try to head home to rest, but I'm summoned to the town hall by the ghost. He tells me I've ranked up again, but before we can celebrate, coincidentally, the Rough Riders appear and try to run me out of town. They make short work of Raddies, but this simply angers Toasties, and while they do use 5 potions to be as annoying as possible, we eventually take Scrappy down and use Pikmin to cross Sandshrew, destroy a Heracross, and absolutely obliterate a Zorua, all in his sleep. The ghost apologizes for the gang and tells me to check out the new commercial district north of town, but I'm stopped by a trainer outside the gym who asks me to battle. I quickly regret this though, as she throws out a level 50 Blissey. Thankfully, after the 8th Tail Whip in a row, I realize this is actually just an XP farm. So I quickly kill the Blissey, level up our entire team to 35, and evolve Raddies. To be honest, I'm not a fan of how easy this was, so I decided to not use it ever again, and to simply grind properly the way God intended. I do want to head to bed, but I was told to check out the commercial zone, which apparently is my blank canvas I can use to build whatever I want, but it's all too expensive, so I finally make it to bed. The next day, the gym is relatively easy to handle because Raditz has learned 2 new moves. Super Fang, which always halves the enemy's health, and Hyper Fang, that is so overpowered it's unfair. But not as unfair as endlessly spamming super potions on your broken Lyron. Luckily, Pikmin is overpowered as well and can spam rest to stay healthy while sleep talking to randomly use one of his other overpowered moves. I call this sleep trapping. I don't really feel like opening the gym this week and decide to explore to the east. I get revenge on that bug trainer and his Butterfree from earlier, and I find a gentleman named Chris, who apparently has been spreading rumors. Anyway, he has a Dragonair, but I have a rat. I find and explore a cave called the Dragon's Den, which, to everyone's surprise, is full of dragons. And later that afternoon, while exploring to the west, I beat up some trainers, steal their money, and evolve Toasties again. I then use the money I stole to buy some more eye-catching buildings, which, yes, I hate. But hey, I can take my frustration out on our challenges. I wake up the next day and decide to continue exploring. I buy some Great Balls and head back to the Dragon's Den, where I find a Drampa, who is a dragon normal type. I catch and name him Cat Duck before I make my way out the other side of the cave and find a mystical forest. I instantly encounter an Igglybuff, who I catch. Luckily, we find a second one, who we catch and name Mango Man. I drop them off for now, as I can still only use 3 Pokemon, and open the gym for the day, which I sweep easily. So easy, in fact, I think it's time to show the Rough Riders who the boss is around here. I head west through the Craggy Pass and start to make my way through a cave to the Badlands. This is where I encounter the hardest challenge of any Pokemon game so far. This cave's encounter rate. Shit, fuck, oh, come, son of a bitch. When we finally reach the Badlands, we remember not only are we here to crush the Riders, but we're also looking for a flower. So in between crushing Vixens and Riders, we pluck flowers until finally finding the right one. And then we double back to take on the guard at the base. Except he's worked out the perfect way to beat me. And that's by figuring out he's in a video game. So instead, we head back to town and mindlessly crush weaklings at the gym before wrapping up the day in the break room, where our gym guide tells us that the mysterious, overpowered trainer she mentioned a few days ago is named Arthur. I can't do anything with this information yet, so I head home. Or at least I try to. Instead, I end up with a bag over my head and I'm knocked out. I wake up 3 days later in a cave surrounded by men and realize that even though this is how my bachelor party started, I don't think it's going to end the same. Turns out the Rough Riders plan to keep me here until the town evicts me, which would work, except the vixen guarding me asks if that's a nugget she smells in my pants or if I'm just happy to see her. Little does she know, it's both. She sneaks me out of the cave past the other riders, and I make it all the way to the edge of the Badlands without being seen and see our old rival, the hiker. I quickly tell him I was assaulted and kidnapped, and he replies by sending his level 70 Tyranitar out, beating me until I'm unconscious, and turning me back over to the Rough Riders. Wow. Rude. I don't have a nugget anymore, so I battle my way out, which isn't too hard because despite Raddies and Toasties having weaknesses, Pikmin has become literally unkillable, even in a 2v1. This time we don't stop to ask for help and head straight out of the Badlands, where we bump into the Ghost and the gym guide who are waiting on the outskirts of town. Apparently everyone has been worried sick, so I try to head home, but I'm interrupted by a mysterious man named Edgar. He explains he's the leader of the Riders, and that they would never kidnap someone. But they did. Hello. The Riders apparently plan to gain the city's trust the right way and kick me out without breaking the law, which is nice, but like, you guys kidnapped and assaulted me already. This traumatic event is best swept under the rug by the Pokemon League giving me a free rank up, so now I can use 6 Pokemon and even get some vacation days, which to be fair, we really need. So we grab Mango Man and Cat Duck out of the box and head to the town hall to book ourselves a vacation in Opulent City for 3 days. I'd go for longer, but the city sounds kind of expensive, and I am bringing my gym guide along as well, which will really eat up my budget. As I arrive, I'm greeted by the town gym leader Grant, who tells us to avoid the alleyways. Glowing review of your town there, buddy. We explore for a bit, meet some new people, check out the sites like this Pokeball factory where we're gifted some experimental balls, and then we stumble back to our hotel. I take a quick shortcut, thinking it'll get me there faster, and I'm attacked by an Alolan Rattata living in the garbage. This is the perfect 6th team member, so I quickly catch him and name him Jamada. Oh, and I also catch a Zigzagoon and call him Ziggazizi, but we'll never see him again. Before we know it, our vacation is over and it's time to get back to work. I drop by the commercial district and try to build some factories and a Neo building. Never mind. Turns out I'm broke, so instead I sell all my belongings and settle for a Neo building and a museum. Now I am successfully earning 4,000 bucks a day in passive income. That's right, I'm on that Sigma grind set. I also discover the starter park, which sounds awesome, but no starters are normal types, and none can learn return, so this entire area is useless. I decide to open the gym for the first time in a while, but not before setting our team up with some new items. The only one that matters to you guys is the fact that I gave Pigman the quick claw we stole off Super Sand. Just because the idea of Snorlax managing to outspeed other Pokemon just to fall asleep is hilarious to me. The challenges today are honestly pretty tough, and our new team members don't do great. But luckily, CatDuck comes out swinging before getting hit by 4 flinches in a row and dying. Luckily, Toasties can finish everyone off, and even luckier, Raddies is dead. Well, at least Pikman never fails. I continue working on the town, building some eye-catching buildings and donating to the less fortunate. I finally drop off that flower I found and get almost no reward for it. Oh, and speaking of not getting paid, I hire some gym trainers, and yes, this time, I let Alpharad join. I open the gym and continue to crush trainers as they come and make sure to train my gym trainers after every day. I head home tired and fulfilled, but right as I'm about to pass out for the night, there is a bang on my door. A letter slides in from Edgar, who is challenging me to settle our score once and for all in the Badlands. The loser has to leave town for good, and he threatens me not to tell anyone, which is fine by me because I'm pretty sure the mayor is actually a ghost, and he's not going to be much help anyway. I wake up and decide to ignore Edgar because I really couldn't be bothered trying to make it through that cave again. But apparently I'm not allowed to, so instead I buy some revives and a single potion before heading to the Badlands to take him on. I enter the base, sneak past the guards. Look left, look to your left, look to your left. I mean, your right, look to your right, to your right, look to your right. look to your right. Look away. It worked. And upon entering the final room, I can already hear Edgar monologuing.
Finally, took you long enough. Tell me, did you chat with the mayor of yours?
No, I honestly didn't. I thought you were like a prank. I didn't think you were real. Apparently, he's been trained by the best. His Pokemon are so strong, they know moves that can't normally be known. He says I better not have told the mayor, but the old creep will likely find out anyway, and finally, he sends out his Aggron. Raddies is able to use Super Fang to half health him, but he keeps healing up with potions like a loser, and eventually Raddies is taken out. Pikmin comes out for a vengeance, doing massive damage and resting to heal through everything he can. Except Aggron lands a crit. We're in a bad spot. Aggron is faster and can take us out, but we need to rest to heal. Luckily, the Quick Claw activates and we outspeed to fall asleep, heal up, and take him out. We swap to CatDuck to take on his Hydreigon and exchange Dragon Pulses, but ours is stronger. We switch in Toasties as he sends out Tyranitar and use Close Combat to one-hit him. He goes to swap in Salamence, and I'm not sure what to do. I send out Jimata hoping to Super Fang, but he's too slow and weak. Pikmin comes back out hoping to tank just one hit. Luckily, we Quick Claw again and rest to full health. Tank 2 hits, and while we bring Salamence close to 0, we do lose Pikmin. We send out Mango Man, who revives Pikmin before dying to Salamence himself, but luckily taking him down with him. Edgar brings out Garchomp, and we send out Toasties with Close Combat to half health him. Toasties does die, but we manage to also revive Raddies. Alright, Raddies, I have so much faith in you. 100% you managed to outspeed this big bitch. Pikmin comes back out and tanks a hit before resting to full HP and uses Sleep Talk to slam Garchomp. Edgar's final Pokemon is Metagross. We continue to Sleep Trap him, constantly healing up and never dying. I am the most annoying trainer in the world right now. I decide to risk it, breaking my own Sleep Trap and go for the return. And the Quick Claw activates. I land the hit, I win the battle, and Edgar promises to stop taking over the town, throws me out of the cave, and word of my victory spreads so far that I rank up again. The next day, I head to the town hall to let the ghost know what happened, but he just stares straight ahead. And he's also looking really pale. But with not much else to do, we open the gym for the day. And our nemesis returns, but now with a level 70 Tyranitar. Raddies is one hit instantly, so we send out Toasties, who does manage to half health the beast with Close Combat, but dies right after. We send out CatDuck, who goes for the Dragon Pulse and survives only thanks to a lucky confusion. The Hiker does full restore, but he misses his Hyper Beam. We get another Dragon Pulse off, but CatDuck goes down. Mango Man goes out, Mango Man goes down. Pikmin comes out and lands a heavy slam. Tyranitar is still confused, so he hits himself and then misses a Hyper Beam back to back. We Sleep Trap him, and while managing to roll several Quick Claws into rest, eventually we wear the monster down. The rest of the trainers today are nothing compared to that Goliath, and we head to the break room expecting jubilation. Instead, I find my gym guide crying. She says her brother Arthur is a rough rider and she's desperately trying to bring him home. But because he's so strong, she knows he won't listen to her and asks me to take him down instead. Without a moment of thought, I agree and head out to confront him right away. As she thought, Arthur refuses to come home and instead challenges me to a battle. He has an incredibly strong team, even stronger than Edgar, but Raddy's takes out half with ease, before Toasties comes out to finish before CatDuck comes out to wrap the fight up. After being beaten, Arthur explains he was already kicked out of the Riders. He says he can't go to the police, he can't go home, he has only one path left, and he leaves. I walk our guide home wondering if we'll ever see Arthur again, but I'm not sure. The next morning, I'm woken up by screaming, so I rush outside. Thankfully, it's just the champion of the region, Garrison, who is here for a surprise inspection. Apparently, if I lose this, I'll be fired. Normally, we battle inside, but because the town adores me, he wants to do it right now, right here, on the spot. And to make up for this, he gives me a full restore, a revive, and no time to think, before sending out his Smeltix. Raddy's comes out and super fangs him, but he heals up like a loser. So we do it again, and he heals up again, and again, and again. We managed to get him low, but he takes us out, so we send in CatDuck. Our Dragon Pulse almost does the job, but he full restores again. Never mind, this is the most annoying trainer in the world. And even though we put up a fight, CatDuck goes down. Toasties comes out and close combats to finish him off, and instantly takes out the Bishop right after the same way. He sends out Gengar, and I swap in Jamada to counter, but I forgot I removed Crunch earlier. So like every other time Jamada has tried to fight, he dies instantly. Toasties comes out, but is instantly one hit as well. We are in a bad spot. Pikmin is our last chance. He comes out swinging, landing a heavy slam to take out Gengar. Haxorus comes out, but we've started to sleep trap, landing a full HP heavy slam. And we reveal that wasn't a Haxorus, it was a Zorua, who is dead now, along with his Cherim he sends out next. All that's left is the real Haxorus. He Dragon Dances to power up, followed by a Dragon Claw. I continue to sleep trap, but I roll rest while already asleep twice. This is bad. Haxorus is faster, I'm only on 14 HP, and I won't be able to get a rest off in time. I'll lose here. Except, Garrison sealed his own fate when he gave me a full restore earlier, allowing me to heal up and one hit his Haxorus. The crowd begins chanting Champion Eljay, and I go to take my throne. Except Garrison explains that this just means I'm rank 5 now and not the king of the world. So I head home to sulk. I wake up in the morning and find a note on my bedside table. I try to ignore how weird that is because it simply says to meet at the gym and tell no one. I swear, what is with this town and their mysterious threatening letters? A mystery man is waiting for me inside and says he needs to talk, but I have to prove I'm strong enough first, and challenges me to a battle. He sends out Wigglytuff, but Raddy's easily takes them down. He sends out Eradicate himself and manages to take out Raddy's. So I unleash Pikmin, who begins demolishing his entire team. But as he sends out his Furret, I realize something. Wait, is this the old gym leader? I wipe his team one by one. Furret, Staraptor, Drampa, and finally his starter, Eevee, comes out. Toasties easily lands a close combat, winning the fight. And seeing this team, I am confident this mystery man is our predecessor. He begins telling me I'm a god and how handsome I am, and as he's about to reveal everything, Sandy walks in. Her eyes flash red and she begins screaming at the man, accusing him of wanting his old job back, hurling insults like calling him a coward, a loser, a Jason, all for abandoning the town. This goes on for a while as I stand there awkwardly, and eventually he shuts her up by shoving a piece of paper into her hands that just reads, "If you do anything else during your reign, there will be consequences." Which, I get it, she was going a bit overboard, but threatening her? That's kind of weird, man. Oh, that's the letter okay, so he received this letter. Turns out he was worried his sister would be hurt, and now he's back to warn me that whoever sent this is after me as well. Except this time, he hopes I won't run away, like some little pussy bitch did before me. Sandy wants to go to the police and tell the town about Jason, but he says no to protect his sister, and then leaves for good. Somehow this secret mystery meeting gets me up to rank 6, which did feel a bit easy and strange. Since I can't open the gym today, I sell my balls to a man in the dark room so I can afford to build a factory and a landmark. Oh, and look, Edgar's in the commercial district now. The next day, while checking out my new buildings, the owner of the charity shop stops me to tell me the district is haunted and asks for my help, to which of course I say yes, and later that night while staking out the area, we actually see a ghost who I instantly attack. But it's actually just a random girl training, so I have to run away really fast because it turns out I accidentally committed a crime. But news of my late night assault seems to have spread fast, because the next morning, Sandy drops by to tell me the ghost has congratulated me on reaching rank 7. Where are all these ranks coming from all of a sudden? Sadly, we can't celebrate for long because she's also received a letter threatening me and all of my gym trainers. If I don't leave town, everyone's lives are at stake. This time, I call the police, warn our trainers, and close the gym for the day. I struggle to get out of bed the next day, knowing if I open the gym, I might be dooming my trainers. And the worst part is, I don't give them health insurance, so I know they're screwed. As night falls, I decide enough's enough and get up to open the gym. The challenges aren't much of a challenge anymore, but Gymata finally evolves. I make sure to check on the trainers and even give them a last-minute training session before heading home. But it doesn't matter. As I arrive home, I'm instantly stopped by my gym guide, who tells me the other trainers, they never made it home. We hurry to the town hall and the police explain they're searching everywhere except the Badlands because they're still scared of the Rough Riders. Classic police, am I right? And so the ghost asks me to search the Badlands for the kidnapped trainers. It's urgent and I have no time to waste, so I head straight to the commercial district to buy a museum. I'm bringing in $25,000 a day. I'm on the grind set. I can't be distracted by some light kidnapping. But you're right, I did get a little sidetracked and it's urgent, so I head straight to bed. But apparently there are more important things. So instead, I head straight to the mailbox where I find 3 heart scales, which I use to teach Gymata Hyperfang. And finally, yes, because it's urgent, I begin heading to the Badlands. But I'm stopped at the start of the Encounter Hell Cave. Sandy says she escaped the Rough Riders in the Badlands, and apparently the rest of the trainers are still there. She asks me to hurry, and I really would, but I don't think you understand the sheer amount of encounters in this fucking cave.
Oh my god, this cave is painful.
When we finally make it to the Rough Riders base, we see Edgar at the entrance. I think he's lost his keys because he's grumbling about how the ghost arrived, kicked him out, and said he had hostages here. But he swears there aren't any. And for some reason, his own gang stopped listening to him. But to be fair, why would anyone listen to a loser? Edgar can see that I'm lost as well and says there's no way I should be trusting that creepy mayor. Turns out he just hired the Rough Riders to get rid of me. But Edgar said no after he tried to get them to kidnap people. Edgar and I break in, fighting our way through to confront the mayor. Hey, can you just look to your right for a second? Look to your right. Just look to your right for a second. Just 1 second, look to your right. It'll take 1 moment. Look to your right. Look, I'm going away. You knew I wasn't. What if I go upwards? Maybe I'm going to go around you. I could do it. You couldn't stop me. Look, well, I'll just leave. Look, I'm just gonna... We enter the final chamber, and of course, before we can even say a word, the mayor begins monologuing his true intentions, boasting that I really should have known he was a fraud because he gave me a fake phone number. But I never tried to call the mayor, and apparently I should have known that he was a fraud because he didn't give me any help. But I was really grateful for how much help he actually gave me. Edgar has had enough and attacks, but is wiped out in an instant? His gang just watches on, ignoring him, and the mayor continues to monologue about how he was some amazing trainer, but his mum wanted him to get a real job. So he gave up on his dreams instead to become a mayor and have power. And then the gym was built, and slowly all of his power has been stripped away and given to gym leaders. And that's why he needs to kill me? He opens Dusclops, but thankfully we built for our weakness. I land a crunch as he curses himself. I swap, wanting to avoid the curse damage, but he full restores again. And then curses Catduck as I go for the Dragon Pulse. It's a risky attack, but I'm rewarded as I take him out. I swap in Pikmin to handle his Goodra, who we almost one-hit, but like a coward, he max potions. I almost one-hit him again, but he full restores. This happens 2 more times, but finally, we take him down. He sends out a Rhydon and Pikmin tanks hit after hit before resting and beginning the sleep trap. But we get a bad roll and miss 2 attacks because of it. We wake up and go for the heavy slam, landing it and just barely taking Rhydon out. Dragonite comes out and begins dragon dancing. If he gets a hit off, I am so screwed. Oh, it died. The mayor sends out Sizer and one-hits Pikmin with an X-Scissor. This is bad. We send out Toasties and go for the close combat. It lands, but we're taken out right after. Sizer is slowly wiping our entire team, and we can't outspeed it anymore. Raditz comes out, and I predict the attacking move, so I go for the Sucker Punch, which gets priority. It lands, taking down Sizer. He sends out his final Pokemon, Aegislash. We land a crunch, but it doesn't do enough damage. We can't do it. Raditz won't survive the 2 turns needed to take it out. We tank a hit and live on 5 HP, but there's no way our crunch can kill here. Oh, the crit! The crit roll is amazing! And just like that, both the mayor and ourselves are flabbergasted. He goes to talk, but Edgar says it's his turn to monologue, saying I'm a role model. I care about people. And that he and I both care about our community. Wait, aren't you a gang leader? Your community kidnapped me and several others. Edgar tells me to call the police, and the riders start to apologize. Edgar tells them, don't worry about it. They're all forgiven as long as they tell us where the trainers are. No, sorry. You kidnapped people. You assaulted me. I don't think the gym trainers or the police will agree to just say, forgive and forget, right, guys? Annoyed, I head home and just want to rest. But before I can, the Pokemon League calls and says in order to sweep everything under the rug, they've given me my last gym rank. They start to tell me something, but I hear screaming in the background of the call. I can see a bright light. What is that rumbling? I awake on a beach with no memory of how I got here. So click here to see what happens next.